Good morning! Happy Monday! Welcome to SJU on Fandom. Today we're going to be talking about the new Jurassic World short film that was released over the weekend. Stick with us after that because we're also digging into Disney's new deal for creators past and present and whether or not it's good news or bad news for creatives. And, of course, we will be saying goodbye to an old frenemy. That's right. At the end of the show, we will be memorializing MoviePass, so you make sure that you stay with us for that. I've got a great panel here today. We've got Ed, we've got Billy,
Morning.
We've got me. Hi, I'm Danielle, and we have got Dan.
Yeah, it's usually my day off of SJU, but we're talking about broccoli, Jurassic World, and MoviePass. Those are like my three things.
It's a good Dan day.
I had to tap in today.
It's a great Dan day. All right, let's get started with story number one. Jurassic World's short Big Battle released via FX and Universal. Director Colin Trevorrow released a new 8-minute Jurassic World short film on FX Sunday night, followed by a YouTube release titled Battle at Big Rock.
I do.
Alan. It takes place 1 year after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom at Big Rock National Park. And here we're going to get into a spoiler for Jurassic World 2. In the 2018 sequel film, we did see the horrors of Lockwood Manor, where Eli Mills was about to auction off a variety of dinosaurs to the highest bidders. After he tricked Claire into saving as many species as possible, the dinosaurs are now in the open world, just kind of hanging out, chilling. And so they are roaming the U.S. Trevorrow has said that Jurassic World 3 will continue to focus on the impact that escaped dinosaurs have on our world. First of all, this is why you do not go camping. Mm-hmm. Stay at your home.
Especially if you know the dinosaur. It's a year later. You're aware that dinosaurs are in the world. Like, it's on you if you're out camping.
Well, but people go, I will fight back against this.
Oh, please.
In defense of Jurassic World.
Well, that's
people
a first.
Go camping now and there's bears.
That's
like,
why
they know that they're big
A
grizzly
bear, you
bears.
just go like, "Yeah," and they'll be like, all right, cool.
I want to see you try it.
A freaking raptor? I don't think so.
Have you seen The Edge?
This is where you dust off your Y2K bunker, and you knew you were going to need it someday. When the dinosaurs hit, you get in that bunker, you live blast from the past style till all of this just goes over.
Casually racist.
In a sweater
You
vest?
live underground with Christopher Walken until the whole thing just goes away.
I wonder if it's one of those things, like, because when you do go camping, you have to bring, like, a special bear-proof stuff. Do you have to start bringing special dinosaur-proof stuff for all your food?
Apparently not.
Apparently not. You can just be out there grilling with little girls hanging out with your brand new blended family.
Boy.
So after the premiere of this, Trevorrow told EW that, the third film's going to be focusing storytelling with the dinosaurs all over the world. We really wanted this technology, this genetic power, to go open source at the end of the film. What we're suggesting is not just that these specific animals that we care about or in captivity were freed, but also that the ability to create these animals has gone a bit wider than our friend Dr. Wu. Is he a friend? It seems like he's never been very great to us. The open sourcing of any technology like nuclear power, that's the big scary side for me. So we did all watch this. What were your impressions other than don't go camping?
I thought this short itself was pretty good, actually. I liked it. There's a little clunky exposition. Things like, we've only been a family for 2 months. And then the thing with the little girl and the crossbow, it's like, yeah, okay, that's Chekhov's crossbow. I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said this last week, this is the thing about the last movie that actually excited me, and that I wish they stopped the movie when it got interesting. I thought this idea of what do you do when you're just a regular person living in the world and there's dinosaurs running around, and I think that the stuff on the credits, those little snippets of the credits were the best Jurassic Park content since 1993. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, that is what I'm there for. And that's what I hope. Yeah, that's what I hope that the kids, the doves at the wedding, and this pterodactyl just comes and grabs it. The dash cam with the, like, that for me is the promise of what I hope this next movie was going to be. And if the next movie is like, this was so cool. I'm sorry. So cool. This was cool. If this is what the third movie is going to be.
Like a boomerang. That was my favorite part.
That's great.
That was mine.
If that's what the third movie is going to be, I'm there for it. Like, and that's what I mean when I say, like, I don't give up on anything. Like, that's what I'm excited about. And if they're leaning more into that, then I'm on board.
Yeah, I would echo those sentiments. I just really would like to see raptors and just different monsters and all these regular, you're at McDonald's and they're taking hella long, or you're in a long, drive-through line, and all of a sudden your car's getting smashed. You're like, oh, this McRib really wasn't worth it. Like,
is a McRib ever worth it?
Okay, no. What do you want me to say? Okay, you want me to defend the McRib with my limited time? No, but
that's why they put it out for a limited time, so you don't have too long to think about how gross it actually is. It's gone.
Scarcity. But yeah, I think, to echo Dan's sentiments, that the last credits were the best part, because it's like this dangerous dinotopia. We're living in that right now, but it's just the dinosaurs are really little and they crap on your car. You know what I mean? But now they don't just do that. They do a lot of other stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah, and no, it was really great getting to see like what it would look like to just be in a world where the dinosaurs are hanging out and chilling. I particularly loved the dino fight. I thought that was great. Of course, all the stuff with like the little baby dinosaur. I was like, no, you baby.
Oh yeah, that was some Save the Dino.
That was some Save the Dino. I was like, no.
Oh, and just so you don't get savaged in the chat, those were compies that were chasing that girl, not little baby. I think you might have said baby raptors. Those are compies.
I've already commented whatever they look like.
I don't know.
As we learned in the last couple of years, we have a lot of paleontologists that lurk in our chat.
Whatever we're talking about, there are always experts watching.
Yep. Sorry, guys. We talk about movies.
We don't.
So, would you like to see? Because I thought that this was actually a great way to really pump people up for the third movie, especially with plenty of people went to go see both of those prior films. But I feel like for a lot of us, particularly in the film community, we weren't super hyped on either of them. Do you think that this is something? Releasing this, kind of getting us hyped again for Jurassic Park 3, is this or Jurassic World 3, is this something you would like to see more franchise start doing?
I think just the timing's a little weird, because there's like, it just plopped down out of nowhere. There's not a movie coming for at least another year or so. Like, it's neat. Look, I'm one of those weirdos that's like, I think all Jurassic Parks are inherently kind of dumb and silly and fun, and I find things to like about all 50 of them. So like I don't have a problem with Fallen Kingdom. It was fine. I had fun while I watched it. Don't remember much about it now, but
there are dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's dinosaurs chasing people. That's what I remember about every single one. And this was more of the same. I think, you put a new twist on it again. By now it's like out in the world instead of limited to just one island. Like, it'll be fun, but marketing wise, just a real head scratcher why they chose today of all days to drop this thing. There's not even like a announcement of like at the end, like more coming in Jurassic World : new title of third movie. Like there's nothing. It's kind of weird.
Keeps the ball in the air, though, I guess. We're talking about it. So mission accomplished there. I agree. It's weird that it's not necessarily connected to a big announcement or a big major anything. I mean, there have been rumors of like, oh, this person might be coming back. This person might be coming back. We don't know that for sure yet.
Right.
But I don't. Maybe it was. Did they make this for me?
Yes, specifically for you.
Were they sick of me griping and they were just like, all right, we're going to show him? Maybe. I don't know. But if the goal was to win me specifically over, they're gaining ground back. I don't know. I mean, I'm wearing a stupid raptor shirt. Obviously, I'm never going to give up on the idea of a fun dinosaur.
Oh, you're like you're doubling down.
Doubling down. Jurassic Park shirt, raptor shirt.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kidding me?
Yeah, it's funny that we're entering this age where it isn't necessarily do you have a great story with the characters that we know and love if the antagonist is something we can whip up in CG. You know what I mean? When we can whip up the antagonist in CG, and it's more about the world, we don't really care if we get Ellie. A lot of people care if they get Ellie Sadler back. I personally don't. I'd love to see all different types of people run into these dinosaurs. It doesn't always have to be Ellie Sadler and the great doctor, getting saved by the stuff. I would love to see, you know what I mean? I'd love to see like, man, I'm a post office worker, doc, and I get to survive these dinosaurs too. Me and my wife. And our kid get to survive this rather than doctor.
That was what was kind of fun, at least for a little while, of Walking Dead. Was like you saw these people, and a lot of them were like trained, like at killing these zombies, and then slowly you figure out like Glenn's like a pizza delivery kid. That would be fun for a third one.
Right. We all have value. We could all help with the zombie. Or excuse me, the Jurassic apocalypse.
Oh man,
we could all help.
And you'd have to have like animal control. You'd have to have dinosaur control. like someone who would come out if it's like, there's like a Stegosaurus just like hanging out by my mailbox.
Right.
And now you, my mailman, can't actually deliver my mail.
This street gang, we know this street gang has 2 raptors and 2 allosauruses, and they're just running stuff in Bartertown. So we gotta have special unit come down there and handle it. You know what I mean? Just weird stuff can happen when it's open source. I love that term, open source dino technology. That got me. That appealed to me directly.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I hope there's law enforcement dinosaurs at some point.
Well, if there's anything the first movie taught us is that there is no dinosaur control.
All right, we are SJU on Fandom. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit that belly bell. And again, we've been talking about this all month. September is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month, so we wanted to spotlight an organization dealing with that problem with a highly at-risk portion of our population. Stack Up brings veterans and civilians together through a shared love of video gaming. Stack Up serves U.S. and allied service members, veterans, and civilians to assist in crisis intervention, suicide prevention, and issues concerning mental health felt through gaming and community. Visit stackup.org for more information. Now, we wanted to highlight one of the parts of this program. The Stack Up Stop program is trained and certified specifically to assist in crisis intervention, suicide prevention, and issues concerning mental health. They provide peer-to-peer mental health support for veterans and civilians alike 24/7 through the Stack Up Discord server. If you would like more information about all the great things this organization is doing, go ahead and click down below. All right, story number 2, Disney's new deal for TV producers. This is via LA Times. This summer, Disney began changing the deals they offer TV producers and creators and other profit participants, which can sometimes include show stars if you're big enough, to no longer include specific back-end deals where those involved might potentially make huge amounts of money years after a show debuted, as it is sold to different syndicators or streaming devices. Now, Netflix and Amazon already use similar deals that forgo traditional back-end deals, but Disney is the first old school studio to really start embracing it and using it. So per the LA Times, Disney is asking producers to accept contracts that would give them a share of profits starting the second year of the series. Producers will also be eligible for a series of bonus payments based on a show's success and longevity, with pre-negotiated bonus payments for Emmy and Golden Globe nominations and
How much do you get paid to lose the carpool karaoke twice?
I think we got our Ubers paid for.
Yeah,
I think we got
free Uber ride.
Free Uber ride.
Pending approval.
Pending approval. And the show's ranking in the Nielsen ratings can also net you a bonus. Compensation for revenue generated through music publishing, merchandising, DVD and video downloads would also be paid from a bonus pool. A program's popularity on Disney Plus and Hulu would be rewarded as well. The trade-off is that Disney controls all licensing of the series to local TV stations, cable networks, streaming services, foreign broadcasters, essentially buying out whatever share of profits are generated by those services. So firstly, Dan, getting into that good broccoli. Yeah. So what do we think about Disney changing up the way that they do the system in this way? Do we think it's a smart play for how things are changing with studios and with streaming and studios now being able to control their own distribution? Or is it just corporate greed to not share as much with the creators if the show winds up?
But you have to be clear. This is not Disney that is all of a sudden coming up with this new way of doing it.
No.
This has been happening with Netflix. It's happened with Amazon. This is kind of the digital frontier. But you kind of have to look back at this whole Bones situation that we've been talking about on the show for a while, because kind of think that's a big part of it is getting your own content back. How much is your content worth? I think NBC got real screwed that they had to pay a whole bunch of money to get The Office back, something they made. So I think it's just you're just seeing the digital, this whole digital frontier is now all about how do we not only get content but keep it for ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. It's 'cause I think we talked about this when the first sketches of ideas of this or thought that Disney might be doing this. It's kind of a, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to know how much are people getting exactly, because I think that it is advantageous to people that make a show like like in Arrested Development, for example, where particularly, let's say that the Netflix thing revival had never happened, and you just had the show Arrested Development, which was a great show, got a lot of Emmy nominations, got a lot of awards consideration, but never really like had this huge thing. I think that you could probably have generated more income for the people involved with Arrested Development while the show was on the air, even though it never found a huge ratings window because it was so critically acclaimed. It did have a nice life and still does. They might have been able to license some of that money from going to Netflix beforehand. Like, I think a show like that, it can benefit them. Or, even a show like Two Broke Girls on CBS, which is not like a big syndication play, but was on for several years and had pretty good ratings, and that could maybe generate a little more money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, I think we're going to talk about Seinfeld.
Yep.
Just closed its like 5th syndication deal. It's probably going to be for $1 billion. It's going to pay a lot of people a lot of money that is not necessarily on the table if you go with this deal. So
same with Friends or any of these.
Yeah, exactly. So it's weird to me because it's like, to a certain extent, I think that it benefits people because you are eligible, I think, to get more out of a project. That might not generate that kind of revenue with this kind of thing. But at the same time, it does potentially shut people out of these massive deals. But the other part being, now that everybody wants to keep their own content, how many more of these deals going forward are there going to be? Because it looks like now studios aren't going to license their content anymore.
Yeah,
so
syndication.
There's so much.
Syndication isn't kind of what it used to be.
Nope.
It used to hit that 100 episode mark.
It's
and
like, we got our 5
whatever,
seasons.
great, we're syndicated. But now it's like, you're not going to syndicate Stranger Things. It's going to live on Netflix forever.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, you're talking about like, what about The Offices, the Seinfelds, the Friends, the things that blow up for those big syndication deals. It's like, but the new shows moving forward, I don't know. There might be a Stranger Things or something like that, but you're not going to get the cultural impact of a Seinfeld. I just don't think it's going to happen
and
anymore.
That's what I was going to say. Like, this whole concept that like the new creators are getting screwed out of potentially a Friends or a Seinfeld. Who's to say that a Friends or a Seinfeld's literally ever going to happen again? When you look at how Netflix disincentivizes people to do more than 3 seasons, or right as you get to 3 seasons, they just go, you're in the win, peace. You're just spaced now. You're a British show. You got 3 seasons, and you got to get out of here. And occasionally, they're starting to go like, okay, fine, Stranger Things, you can have your 4th and 5th season. We'll find out what's in Russia or whatever. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. But I think that's going to be less and less and less, and we're going to be encouraged to these snack bite shows that are like 3 seasons, and then you can watch all of them on 2 plane rides, and then that's entertainment. And this really smacks to me of like the dude with the last bunch of buffalo skins and buggy whips going, mine, you pay me for my buffalo skins and buggy whips. Like, I got a Tesla, bro. I really don't care. I really don't care. We got air conditioning and heat in my Tesla. I don't care about your buffalo skins. I don't care about your buggy whips. But the people who have those and the 4 people who like those are like, damn, son. You got the buffalo skins? That's the
What are you
Seinfeld.
talking about?
Seinfeld is
I
buffalo
can't even
skins.
follow this one.
I'm usually on the chicken restaurant. I got it. But this one I'm a little lost on.
At one point, the person with the most buffalo skins, i.e. Seinfeld episodes from the 90s.
Perch.
Right? That person used to be rich. Now that person's just a dumb bunghole with a bunch of useless buffalo skins. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't use those anymore. We don't use 150 episodes of some show about 3 New Yorkers anymore. We don't use that.
Yes, we do. They just sold them for $1 billion.
But in 5 years, there won't be any more, though. Those are the last ones. You're fighting over the last Allosaurus. And I understand we just discovered that there's more of them out there and they're camping. But I'm saying in real life, there's no more of those. In real life, there's 5 bison, and they're raised for farming to go to burger restaurants. They're not roaming free anymore. I'm just saying, there's no syndication roaming free for us to protect.
Some people at this table have not played Oregon Trail recently. That is what I'm learning.
So what you're saying is that ER died of dysentery?
Yes. Now you're getting it. I'm just saying, like, I think Grey's Anatomy is probably the last big fish like this. The last show that has all those episodes for you to haggle over and syndicate and fight over and redistribute all over the history of the world. That, I guess, some of the CBS shows, but they have their own streaming thing. So boom, they're not going in any kind of syndication. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Everybody has this big hoard of stuff that doesn't matter anymore, except that they got 2 of them, Friends, Seinfeld. After that, I can't think of anything with way more than 100 episodes that everybody in the culture likes that people can be fighting over. Name me something else.
The Office.
That's still in that same time frame.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got my
What are the
bison
new shows?
buffaloes mixed up.
This Is
I
Us.
went hunting with the wrong pelt thing.
Are people going to be
excuse me.
fighting over This Is Us? Because that could very well
I
make
have
100
no
episodes
idea.
of ridiculous pathos and become something to be fought over. But will that go directly to NBC streaming? Or will they have learned their lesson from The Office? Most likely. So that's what I'm saying. What are these things?
I do think we're going to see another round of this when the free market and history will dictate that not every single one of these things is going to succeed. So I think we are going to see a round 2 of this, because at some point, whether that's in 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or however long, these libraries are going to be liquidated. I mean, that's what's happening with Seinfeld. It was bought up by Hulu, and now it's going to be bought up by Netflix, and then that's it for X amount of years. But at some point, one of these streaming services is going to go under, and they're going to liquidate whatever library they have. And here
the
we go
Netflix
again.
library is going to be like that Jurassic Park auction, where they're selling the dinosaurs.
They're in the basement of a mansion.
All right, we got a Stranger Things here. It's bristling with technology.
I'm curious, and again, this is something that only agents can tell us, but I'm curious how these deals stack up to, because I would imagine HBO would have to sort of negotiate in the same way, because HBO shows don't, like I remember like way back, like Dream On and some of the early ones got syndicated for like cable. They would like cut them down for cable, but with now when you're doing a Game of Thrones or whatever, like you're not negotiating a syndication deal. So I wonder if these deals would bear some resemblance to what you're negotiating if you're doing a deal now for like an HBO show that's going to be on HBO or HBO Now forever.
I guess that's what makes Disney, they're not the first to do these kinds of deals, but what makes them smart in this whole long-term strategy is they were like, it's not enough for us to own the new Marvel show. We need to own the characters. We need to own the merchandise.
Yeah.
We need to own
360.
everything around it so that there's no questions asked whatsoever.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of things this is being spun as by a lot of folks as like a big bad corporate Disney story. And listen, there are plenty of those.
Yeah,
There are plenty of those, and I will not argue with you for a second. But with this one, the way that business is done in Hollywood is being changed fundamentally from the ground up right now. And so I'm not gonna sit here and sit in judgment of this, not knowing all the details of it, and B, it's like it's the Wild West out there. Nobody knows what the hell is going on, but you cannot do business the way that it's been done because everything is changing. So
everything's a huge grand experiment right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to proclaim this big bad Disney because I just think that you have to change your business practices. It's a must. Right
But
now.
I do wonder if this will lead to any guild strikes coming up in the next few years.
Oh yeah,
it may
for sure.
Well, and also just to not go over this point though, but like they are kicking in incentives on the second season. They used to make you wait until basically 5, which no show ever got. You know what I'm saying? Even in the grand old days of buggy whips and television, most shows didn't get anywhere near a 5th season. Most shows, period, don't get anywhere near a 5th season. And now with the de-incentivizing of making most things about 3 to 4 seasons, you are getting paid right now in this new nefarious business model. You're getting paid on the 2nd season.
Right.
That's pretty sweet.
And then obviously for a lot of like the bigger showrunners and creators, as we're seeing, they are rolling up the Brinks truck, 9-figure things, just like, here's all of the money, you make us stuff. And so that's also, I think, something that factors into this as well. So most of this is going to start to affect, I think, like the smaller people. It's not going to be so much of your Shonda Rhimes, who that check's already cleared. You know, like
That's a big check, too.
that's a big, they all got big checks, big, beautiful checks. Speaking of, not really, but story 2.5, Disney and serving up your animated series nostalgia. This is via Disney Plus. Speaking of the mouse that does control everything, Disney Plus announced that classic Disney animated series from the 80s and 90s will be available on the streaming service, including DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles, Goof Troop, and Adventures of the Gummy Bears. And I'm sure that each and every one of those themes like just ran through your head as I'm naming them off. Bouncing here and there and everywhere. So meanwhile, Disney Plus has begun a free trial run in the Netherlands, well done Netherlands, before its official November 12th launch. No new series or movies like The Mandalorian or Lady and the Tramp are on it yet, but among the catalog titles, users have noticed an abundance of classic Marvel animated series available, including the 1980s show Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, which you have to check out, The Incredible Hulk, of course, the beloved 90s X-Men and Spider-Man animated series, plus the 1990s Fantastic Four and Iron Man series. Now, Disney Plus has not officially confirmed these Marvel titles for the U.S. launch. It's always possible there could be rights issues, but everyone seems to be really hopeful. Also, what we're probably not going to get, the MTV CGI Spider-Man animated series, which I loved.
Oh, yeah, Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris. The Spectacular Spider-Man, because both of those are owned by Sony.
Best Spider-Man to date in my book, Spectacular Spider-Man.
I liked Spectacular Spider-Man a lot. And X-Men Evolution will not be on there. That is owned by Warner Brothers, and Disney would have to pay a license, as we were talking about before. So, all right, they got me right in my nostalgia dollar.
Sure.
Does this make you any more or less excited for their servers? It feels like by now they're just throwing stuff at us like we've already got the cake and the ice cream, and they just keep putting on more frosting.
Well, now it's espresso time. Send out a nice cup of espresso for us to just chillax and talk about it. Yeah, I mean, this seems pretty sick. I mean, the Mouse Gang. They treat you and they beat you. You know what I mean? That's true. You know what I mean? They, as much as an oppressive force as they are, then they go, well, here's a nice protein bar. You know what I mean? Or what, ration? Whatever, like Star Wars. I'm trying to do a Star Wars thing. Portion?
Protein bar?
Here's a portion. I got portion and protein in my head. They got mixed
Here, Ray, here's your pre-workout before you take on the first order.
Here's your creatine. I hear you're going to be doing some rappelling later. But yeah, this is your portion. They're giving you your portion.
Yeah. Which one of these were your huge faves? I mean, other than X-Men animated series, which I say this every day. Every one of these comic book creators, these big companies, they should be writing a check to the creators of X-Men the animated series every year for how many people that pulled into reading comic books and getting interested in this stuff. And Gargoyles?
Gargoyles is really dark. It's really great.
Yeah, it was really dark.
For me, it's Darkwing Duck. That's the one I actually, when they took it off syndication when I was a little kid, I cried and refused to go to school that day because Darkwing Duck wasn't on because I like my routines. But they put a lot of it out on DVD, but they never finished it because it maybe just didn't sell well. So finally get to watch those last few episodes that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the X-Men animated series was my huge entry into that franchise, but the 80s Incredible Hulk cartoon. They used to be able to rent these on video, and when I was a kid, I would rent them all the time. It's where I first knew who Stan Lee was, because when everyone says the Hulk, I think the Hulk. That's, hello, true believers, Stan Lee, and the Incredible Hulk. And so that's how I think of the Hulk. I think of him doing the voiceover. I know the theme song, but that was that, and the Ferrigno Bixby TV show and reruns were my entry to the Hulk, and the Hulk was one of my first absolute favorite comic book superheroes, up there with Batman, Superman, the Hulk. So it's exciting to potentially get the chance to see that again. I'm sure they're never as good as you remember, but it's still fun to watch. So yeah, but it's when you bring up paying I agree that they should. We know, full disclosure, we have had on the show and are very friendly with Eric and Julie Lewald, who were
I managed not to cry. I was very proud of myself
for the X-Men animated series, and I agree they should be getting. I mean, the amount of people that they brought into Marvel to this day. But I think that's where it kind of does tie into our last story, because some people would say well, under the current system, they will never get paid for this kind of thing. But I also think that under the new system, because the way it used to work was they did this show as a job in the 90s. They were paid to do 13 episodes, and that's how it worked.
Yeah.
You did a show, you show ran that show for 13 episodes, and if you got more, you got paid to do those 30 episodes. It's just like any spot work. Under this new system, potentially, you could potentially negotiate as a showrunner if they're doing this new way of working, saying okay, well, this X-Men animated series, if it gets to 90 episodes, then you get this bonus. And if it gets licensed to syndication, or if it gets licensed, then hey, here's a streaming fee that you're going to get paid. You're going to get X amount of dollars if we sell the license to this, or if you get an Emmy nomination, or if the ratings are above this, then you get this bonus and this bonus. And this is where I think this new way of business could help, because as it stands now, there are a lot of people that created these keystone shows that are not sharing in any profit whatsoever right now, because that's just not how the business used to work. So this is where I do think the new system can be advantageous to people that are making the X-Men animated series of today.
I agree.
Sorry.
No. That was great. I was actually literally about to ask that question at the table, so
sorry.
now you made it,
Yes.
so I don't have to.
Yeah. That's awesome.
All right, y'all. Here it is. You ready for it? You've been waiting. Story number 3. MoviePass dies for real. This is via MoviePass and CNBC. MoviePass announced on Friday it was shutting down the discount ticketing service over the weekend on September 14th. The company informed subscribers that it was ending the service because its efforts to recapitalize MoviePass have not been successful to date. That is true. Helios and Matheson Analytics, MoviePass's parent company, says it has formed...
Nope.
has formed
For a while.
for like a really long time.
Well, actually, no, it was never any theater.
Oh, the marketing.
Chloe. Oh. And unfortunately, Director of Marketing Chloe has yet to publicly come out with a response to the announcement. Sources do tell SJU teen intern Ryan O'Toole that the former MoviePass mascot was seen saying "Bow Wow" on the way out of the office Friday afternoon. Bow Wow. Indeed, Chloe.
It's a Hal Rudnick joke.
Wow, indeed.
Yeah. Bow wow.
Bow Wow.
Is this like when Johnny Carson used to fax jokes to David Letterman? Did Al email that in?
He was trying to trick me to say "bow wow" as many times as possible. It does look like Helios and Matheson Analytics, their parent company, says it has formed a strategic review committee to explore a possible sale of all or some of its assets. To who?
Your address and phone number.
Yeah.
Of which I'm one of them.
Yep.
You got me.
We did it. They're going to try to explore strategic and financial alternatives for the company. Among the options they're considering are a sale of the company in its entirety, a sale of the company's assets, including MoviePass, MoviePhone, and MoviePass Films, as well as a possibility of reorganization of the company. I think I've got a couple quarters in my pocket if you guys want to chip in.
They've gotten all my money they're going to get.
So, just how unshocked are we to hear that this has finally happened?
I don't know. Part of me, look, just because they've been down and down and down, but it's like, is this like when the henchman goes back to Joker, is like, Batman's dead, I shot him. It's like, show me the body. Take the mask off. Let me check the pulse. It's like, if I found out tomorrow that they're like, MoviePass 2.0, I'd be like, of course. This thing's like a cockroach on steroids. It just will not die. There's a pessimist in me that just thinks like it's like a phoenix. They're just biding their time, waiting for the next
MoviePass is Jean Grey. Gotta come back. Yeah, more powerful. If you strike me down, I will come back more powerful. Is that really? I don't know, man. I never bought into it because I never think anything is that good. Like like for real, like when they said that deal, any movie, in any theater, anytime, anywhere, any place, whatever, I was just like, nah, I don't believe it. So I never really got down with it.
I mean, listen.
So, but I'm not saying that's a virtue. I'm saying I can't believe in good things, and that's ruinous to my personal life. But
the deal was that good, though.
It was. They got this side of the table.
One of the reasons they're in bankruptcy because I cost them hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I took advantage of it so much. I spent so much of their money that is now in arrears or wherever it goes. Not going to say that. Hanging out with Defy's assets.
as they're just tearing apart the building outside.
So I think I'm going to speak in a language that I know you'll both appreciate. I think The Undertaker has fought his last match. I don't think he's popping out of the coffin this time.
You picked the most apt.
You're right.
You're right, because every time he's retired, he comes back 6 months later.
Someone gives him $1 million and sends him to Saudi Arabia.
I think he might be retired, or maybe they'll sell the company to
So
Saudi Arabia.
does that make AMC Kane?
But see, that's the thing. I said that MoviePass had to crawl for AMC to run, and there are a lot of other theaters.
Well, that's what I said when I memorialized MoviePass on Twitter. It was a disruptor.
Yeah.
They set out to do what they meant to do. They just didn't. They did it in the most spectacularly not way that they anticipated by completely running their company into the ground and making their arch nemesis AMC stronger.
Right.
Okay, what is your favorite MoviePass moments? For me, it's got to be director of marketing.
I mean, Chloe, the director of marketing, is tough to top.
It's really tough to beat.
I mean, in terms of favorite, when I just think like, I can't believe it. We had Mitch Lowe in here. I sat this close to him as he told me to my face what the policies were. 2 days later, they changed their policies. And I was like, you son of a bitch. Like, you really just got me. Roth and I walked out of there like, no, this is real. He got us for sure. I could totally see how he could walk into a boardroom, convince total Emperor's New Clothes scenario, and then walk out with millions of dollars and have nothing.
Who plays him in the movie?
Ooh, I feel like it may not be a great comparison, but I feel like you could maybe age up and do some makeup on like a Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, he's kind of. I see like a John Slattery.
Yes.
John Slattery.
Someone who can kind of be a smooth talker, fast talker. Could even maybe do a McConaughey.
Ooh,
Oh,
I can do that.
yeah.
I can buy
Kind of
into that.
hypnotic. Let's cast your spell on you.
Does that weird body drumming?
Yeah.
Until you give up.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment was. I mean, there's so many to choose from. Other than again, the hundreds of dollars of free movies that I got using their system. Was when Mission Impossible came out, and they obviously were out of money, and they kept trying to pretend like they weren't out of money, like to the point where they're just like, "What are you talking about? It works fine." And people are like, "No, it doesn't." They're like, "Oh, it's a thing with the computers." They're like, "I think you're out of money." They're like, "No, we're not. There's this thing. There's you did something wrong.
You forgot your password.
You forgot to do something."
Yeah.
That we
no, I'm pretty
changed.
sure you're out of money. There was like a 6-month process where like people were like, "You're obviously out of money." They're like, "No, we're not."
They're like the bank.
You were doing it wrong.
No, they're like
you were
the-
using it too much.
They're like the bank manager trying to stall the robbers. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm putting in my passcode. I don't know,
It's not-
Cheryl. Is it?
Mission Impossible was definitely like their sad cheese sandwich of like.
Firefest.
That was the
Yeah.
point of no return, I feel
Yeah.
like, for MoviePass was Fallout.
MoviePass also did
Fallout.
give me
Yep.
the only time I've ever been in a social media feud with an actual movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
how
true.
could I not?
Was that with Gotti?
How could I not
Well-
remember the fact that I could never have gotten into a Twitter feud with Gotti, really, if not for MoviePass? Perhaps that was with Chloe, the director of marketing. That was something.
You were on network television.
I got on the Today Show because
You got it on the Today Show.
it's insane.
Well, it takes a dog to greenlight a dog.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I gotta thank. They put out the hit. The Gotti Twitter account put out the hit on me because of what happened. So hey.
You were like Sam Rothstein at a casino. You just tumbled out of the Cadillac right before it exploded.
I saw the sparks under the dashboard. It turned into a dummy right before.
And what was your favorite MoviePass moment?
Just avoiding the whole thing, paying full price for movies like a dumb dork. That's all I can
You
say.
don't even do AMC?
I can't even make up one. I think I did AMC for a minute, and I did avail myself. It's MoviePass because I was avoiding MoviePass. I did AMC for a second, and I did that thing where you can like order up your like popcorn and stuff to be chilling out
yeah,
there. And I was hella late to go see a movie with Hector from El Rey. I went to go see Avengers with him, and I was hella late. And I was coming in, and my stuff was just right there, and I didn't have to go through a line. I was like, MoviePass didn't have this. And that was my MoviePass moment. That's the closest thing I can have.
All right. Dan, we do know this loss hits you extra hard. We would like to take a few moments at the end of the show. Would you like to say a few words?
I mean, what can you say about the gifts that kept on giving? I hope we were able to put together as a special some kind of supercut, because I was seeing people sharing their memories of our coverage of MoviePass. It really was an odyssey. I mean, MoviePass saw us through a tumultuous time. We were almost symbiotic with MoviePass here at Screen Junkies, at Screen Junkies News /Fandom Entertainment here at Defy/Fandom. It was almost like our Venom. It's just this crazy thing that was attached to us that we were coexisting in this crazy upside down world with. So I will say, I mean, it was a bold business strategy. They came up with a deal that was too good to be true. If it hadn't cost a lot of people a lot of money and jobs, I would say it's almost admirable, but I can't go that far. Plus the lying, really. You can't really justify that.
Plus the lying.
This idea of like giving away all these movies for free and somehow by the end of it being a disruptor and coming out on top, I mean, that's audacious. It's certainly audacious.
That metaphor you said about like them being like Venom is like Eddie, go see Happy Death Day again.
Exactly.
You know, like just some middling movie, just like I'll go see that again because you have the power.
I do wonder if history will remember MoviePass as a martyr for.
No, if MoviePass had failed of its own accord, then maybe. But MoviePass failed for no other reason than MoviePasses. MoviePass had plenty of opportunities to let reason and cooler heads prevail and say, you know what,
Chicanery.
We came up with this great idea, and you know the response was over and above our wildest expectations. So we need to alter this deal to be real. Because I would have maybe stayed a customer if they had come up with something realistic instead of just like
skullduggery.
Show up and maybe you can go and maybe you can't, and if you can't, it's our fault, but it's your fault. That's when it really became untenable. Was when they refused to acknowledge that their gambit had not worked. Their strong arm tactic of going to AMC and being like, hey, you know, I see a lot of people buy popcorn here. It'd be a shame if those people maybe didn't come no more. And AMC was just like, screw you, we're doing our own version. That they didn't adjust, and they were just like, hey, you know, so maybe you took our business, but you know, it'd be a shame. What? No? Who? No? It'd be like a gangster from like the least influential mob. It'd be like it's a mob full of Fredos. Is what they were. Walking in like they're Don Corleone.
But do you remember when they did that
says.
weekend where they're like, we're cutting off the top 10 AMC theaters to prove a point, and it like completely blew up in their face.
Yeah.
I'll add that to my favorite moment.
AMC service is better. It is more reliable. It allows you to reserve your seats. Your popcorn's ready if you want it to be, and you get the reward points so that you get free food the more you go. So they inspired a big theater chain to make a product that is superior in every way. I don't know. It's both the best and the worst of the way to do business in America. It's the American way of just reckless enthusiasm, but also like what seems to be the height of corruption. So it's just a microcosm of so many things. So rest in peace, MoviePass.
Rest in peace.
It certainly provided us a lot of airtime. So
Pour one out from MoviePass,
R.I.P.
and then pour one for yourselves if you're legal. And we will see you back here tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Bye, guys.
All right.